Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Journey of Art. In this series, I explore the evolution of the human mind, evolution of the human soul through creativity, through consciousness, through all the art that exists out there, through archaeological sites, and my imagination. Today, I have traveled, I was reading about, and I traveled here to Indonesia, and I was fascinated with the kind of ancient art, ancient sites that exist in these regions Indonesia, Vietnam. I will speak about Vietnam a little bit later, but today I went to Indonesia. I went to a place called Gunung Padang. I hope I say it right. And this is one site. If you read about it, there is so much information out there, and there is so many theories about this place. It exists, but I wanted to, as always, connect a site, a place, the creativity that existed in that place to the human consciousness, what could be sacred using my imagination. So, if you look at the site, this is way above sea level, between I think 800 to 1200 meters above sea level. Hills everywhere. The creation of this site using materials from the volcanic residue is fascinating. How was it constructed? There are layers of terraces. If you look at the images also, you can see the bottommost terrace is the biggest, rectangular in shape, and the remaining four are get thinner and thinner as they go up. So it's indirectly in the shape of a pyramid and layered. You can climb from the bottommost to the topmost with steps. The information says it's 370 steps. I don't know. I haven't been to the site and I haven't counted. But the information says there are 370 steps made out of stones, which is which makes sense to get up and to get down. But what is the theorists, the archaeologists, the theorists, the researchers, they all say that you there are many ways of saying. The natives, they say that this was built by the king at that time who wanted to build something sacred overnight. People can say anything they want, but maybe it is true, maybe it isn't. I don't know. This was the date also of this site is being debated. It could be less than maybe 2000 years, but after looking at the after carbon dating it, or finding other information by the researchers, it is said to be somewhere around 10,000 years ago. So 10,000 years ago, man, civilization, or the community at that time in that location decided to create a sacred space. I use the word sacred because to me, I will connect it. To me, I feel the space was created with the purpose of sacredness, with the purpose of connecting to a higher consciousness, because the structure itself says it's peculiar. Not peculiar, it's not peculiar. It has a structure geometrically. These terraces, then they have vertical stones, and they are put systematically and intentionally in the perimeter of each terrace. So what was it? Was it a layer of protection, or was it placed? It was placed systematically in a geometric form, not as geometry as a subject, algebra geometry, not that way, but there is a geometric structure to it. So 10,000 years ago, maybe they knew something about creation, more than we give them credit to. I connect. When I was reading, I thought of Göbekli Tepe. This site in Turkey was created on a mountain at a time where there was the humans, at least we don't know of, the humans didn't know how to carry these 2-3 tons of rocks to create a structure way above on the mountain. They did not have machines, they did not have beasts of burden to carry these 2-ton rocks, and they were also created structurally. And I said in my previous video of Göbekli Tepe, I'll put the link in the description, where I thought or analyzed for myself that maybe there was something more about this structure other than fulfilling the basic needs of food, shelter, and clothing. Maybe it was a place which was ritualistic, which was a sacred place where the people of that at that time went over there to connect with whatever it is they wanted to connect with. Higher consciousness, maybe their soul knew something more than we give them credit for. And I feel the same with this site, with Gunung Padang. The people did know something, because it is believed there is something much deeper within the hills of this site. What we see on the external, maybe there's something more inside, it is believed. Whether it's proven or whether it's not proven, if it is a possibility, if it is a thought that has come up in curious minds, then what is it that is inside? What is connecting with whatever is inside these hills to whatever it is that they are trying to connect with? Much more than what we know of today, 10,000 years later. And maybe this community, the people who existed in this community, knew how to connect using this site as a ritual, for ritual practices, for getting together with like-minded beliefs. Could be, maybe they had a wiser person in that community, and he gathered all these people and they all believed in something without conflict, is what I'm trying to say. So this is what was fascinating about this site. There is a lot of information about this site out there. You can find it on the internet. But this information that I read up about, there is going to be an article about this. I introduced that in my previous video, that I do write about all these articles that I speak about. I do write about these on a platform called mir.com. So everything that I speak about here has an article, which is much more elaborate, which is much more in detail, and it is edited by, I have an editor who makes a lot of corrections, which is good. I need that. But it is there, it is more professional and is more interesting to read. It's longer, more information, lengthier, and it does, in all my articles, I connect the art that exists out there for thousands of years, the sacred sites that have existed for thousands of years, and I connect all of this to the human consciousness, the evolution of the human consciousness, evolution of the human soul, evolution of the human mind, and try to connect it on a global scale. So this is what I wanted to share about Gunung Padang today, and let's see what I speak about next. Thank you for staying with me. If you like this kind of content, subscribe and stay connected with me.